Hey, good morning. First day of the trek. Let's get a little bit of freshness in. Go and get showered. Go and check in, and then see what we get up to. Just on my way to check in now. I haven't packed up my tent yet, but packed up the backpack, so gonna have a look around after that, and then see when we start off. Just waiting to check in now at the Fjällräven tent. Picked up the passes and registered. Now gonna pick up the food. Oh look, they've got lactose free as well. Gluten free, vegan, vegetarian. Okay, cool. Let's pick up the stuff. I'm all stocked up. They give meals on the German trek. They give meals on a daily basis, so when you stop off at the checkpoints they give you some more meals, so you don't have to stock up for 3 or 4 days like on the Sweden trek. So I've got my lunch and dinner, and I've got a small gas canister to save on weight. So let's finish packing up now. We have something happening. They just started about 30 seconds ago. Let's go see. I think it's the opening. Okay, let's weigh the pack. Let's see. Put you down for a minute. So this time I managed to get it to still 19 kg. Still quite heavy. And there's the first stamp at the start. And we're off. The last start group, 8:45. We're off. First part of it, if I understand correctly, is through the little village we're in. And then we get into the start where the nature reserve or the nature area starts. And that's where the climb starts. And that's going to be tough for me. I might need to stop, take some ibuprofen, bandage up my knee. Especially since my pack was not 15 kilos like I thought, but 19. Fingers crossed, let's see how it goes. So there we go. There's the rest of the group ahead of me. We were the last group to leave. I've decided to hang back a little bit so that I'm just kind of taking it easy, and this first part I want to kind of really go slow because it's an ascent, and with my 19 kg backpack might be tough. We're just getting out of the village now and heading off at the fork into the nature area. And there's the little sign. We're going to climb 700 meters in about 8 kilometers. At the moment it feels like it's much steeper. Okay guys, I'm gonna need to wait till I get to some reasonably flat ground to talk to you and explain a little bit, but it's beautiful here. I don't know whether you can see that. That's 0.7 kilometers that I've done from the turn-off point of the end of the village, and it's an average of 2.6 kilometers an hour, which if I can keep up this pace, that's pretty good. We're starting to get more and more into some off paths. Fjällräven marking is actually pretty good. I'm going to put this away because I need my trekking poles. I've done approximately 4 kilometers now, and I'm averaging about 2 kilometers an hour. So I've got about maybe another hour and a half, 2 hours I guess, until the ascent, the major ascent, is completed. I'm looking forward to that. Look at this, it's quite a beautiful meadow. These cow gates here, or gates for whatever animals, are quite difficult to get through with the backpack. It's fun. I got stuck a little bit there. when you're coming up that first piece, if you're going to rest, do rest, but there is this stream here which is like not too much further from where you think you're going to need to rest, and you can collect up fresh water here. If you got a filter, you can take a break. Maybe you can dip your feet in if you're one of the fast walkers. I think I'll just keep going because I need to catch up some time. Look at the cows here, very friendly. I'm glad that for at least a few meters, I think about maybe 50 or 100, it's not that steep, but I can see it's going up again. 7 kilometers of steep climb. Not quite sure what I got myself into this time. I don't know if you can see, but we're about to start another steep climb up there. You can see a few of the trackers already going up. Whilst we're on relatively flat ground, let me enlighten you guys on a few things that I didn't realize. This is actually the first Fjällräven trek event in Germany. They've been trying to do it since 2 years, but of course with COVID they never got to start it. So this is the very first Fjällräven Germany event. I'm actually feeling quite lucky to have gotten tickets and attend this one. This is pretty cool. So the first bit, like I said, is quite steep, and I haven't trained, so I'm really out of it here. The track is quite well marked by Fjällräven. There's these little signposts, I think I told you earlier as well. And they're at the major points where you need to turn off, etc. The scenery around here at this time of year is actually quite beautiful. I'm actually quite pleased so far. I'm hoping the weather holds out and doesn't do another Fjällräven Classic Germany on me, either on the last day or even now. Fingers crossed. Now that was pretty stupid. I left my trekking poles at the last place I was taking photos and videos with the flowers. Oh, gotta walk back like 10-15 minutes to find them. I'm gonna need them. I actually hope they're still there. Oh great, it's gonna be difficult to find them. I should have stood them up. Oh, here they are. Whoa, that was lucky. Oh man, and I thought I was making such good time. So that was like 10 or 15 minutes walk back to get these. Luckily they were still there, and I would have imagined they would have still been there, but luckily I could find them in the meadow where I dropped them. So next time I'll stand them up, so at least I can see them if I forget them, and next time I'll try not to forget them. Walking uphill is giving completely different pressure on my feet than last time. I can feel the back of my Achilles tendon starting to rub, so I'm going to put a little blister plaster on it to avoid any further damage and not get a really big blister. It's getting quite steep again, and I've just barely done 3 kilometers at the moment. I stopped for a bit to put on a blister plaster because I could feel the back of my heel, the Achilles tendon area, becoming a bit tender. I've gone down to about 1.2, 1.3 kilometers an hour now because of all the rests I'm taking. It looks like it's a fairly popular trail. At least met 6 or 7 people coming the opposite direction at the moment, and I'm glad. Loads of little waterfalls like this on the path so far, and I know that there's one really nice waterfall which they recommended you kind of go off the path a little bit to go and see, but that's after tonight's camping, I think. Oh my god, could it be that I've reached the top and this is the first checkpoint? Is that possible? Ugh. These cowgate things are a nightmare to get through with your backpack. Well, there's a shitload of Fjällräven trekkers. I'm guessing this might be, if not a checkpoint, at least a convenient rest spot. So we're over here now, and we started from somewhere down here and came up this way. Taking a break. I think we've come to the highest point. I hope we've come to the highest point, and the hardest part of the trek. There's a little restaurant house here. Hi Xander. There's a little restaurant house here, and great view from here too. I'm going to take a bit of a break before I go on because that climb really knackered me out. Had a bit of a rest. Dried the tent. Well, this tent is dryish. It's not completely dry. I didn't want to take off the ground sheet, but it's fairly dry. It's dry enough to set up now without having to worry too much about the wetness inside. Had a bit of a break. This is not yet the highest point, but the steep climb, I believe, fingers crossed, is behind us now. So it's supposed to be a little bit easier from here, but I won't hold my breath until I've actually experienced it and gotten to the next checkpoint, or the last one where we're going to set up camp. So there's 2 more checkpoints before we can set up camp, and those are so we're going to go down a little bit, and then we're going to have a checkpoint, and then we're going to go up again a little bit, and then we're going to have another checkpoint, and then we go down a steep drop down to the final checkpoint where we're going to overnight and set up our tents. So off we go. So far, well, that last part, I've got to admit, that last bit coming up to the hut here, that was pretty that was steep, and I was beginning to wonder whether I was going to make it to the top, but I did. So let's head on from here.